Hare Krishna, Namaste. Chapter 15 is entitled as Purushottama Vidya, Purushottama Yogam. Sloka 6, verse 7. Na tat bhāsayate sūryo, na śaśāṅko na pāvakaḥ, yad gatvā na nivartante, tad dhāma paramaṁ. That supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. So far, we have learned that the spiritual world is made of Shuddha Sattva. We have learned about its location, its size, and also we learned that it is Ajada. This spiritual world has various names: Tripad Vibhuti, Paramavyoma, Paramakasha, Paramapada, Amrita, Nakam, Vaikuntam, Sadgunamaya, Pancha Upanishadmaya, Pancha Shaktimaya, Parabrahma, Nitya Vibhuti, Ayodhya, and so forth. Tripad Vibhuti. We have learned this name earlier, that the spiritual world is 3 times bigger than the Prakriti. Therefore, it gets a name by itself as Tripad Vibhuti. Paramavyoma. Vyoma means place. Paramam means greater, so it is greater place. Paramapada. There is no other world higher or greater than this place. It is the supreme goal for attainment for the souls. Amritam, the place which never get destroyed. Nakam, kam means sukham, akam means dukkham. Nakam means that which doesn't have dukkham, means always sukham is what exists over there. Nakam. Vaikuntam. Kunta means shortage. The place which has no shortage is Vaikuntam, where only bliss exists. There is no miseries. Anandamaya. It is Anandamaya because of its essential pleasing nature. Sadgunamaya. It is known as Sadgunamaya as it is helpful in realizing the 6-fold divine qualities of the Supreme Lord. Jnana, Aishwarya, Bhala, Virya, Shakti, Tejas. That is knowledge, lordship, strength, valor, that is boldness, energy and splendor. Therefore, it is called Sadgunamayaha. Pancha Upanishad Mayaha, as the 5 Panchopanishad mantra indicate this universe. Those are Parameshti, Puman, Nivrittaha, Vishwaha, Sarvaha. These are the 5 secret names. Pancha Shaktimayaha, since it consists of 5 spiritual elements known as Pancha Shakti, therefore it is Pancha Shakti Mayaha. Parabrahma, because it is the place for enjoyment of the absolute truth. Nitya Vibhuti, as all the objects are eternal and glorious, it is beyond the region of Tamas and Rajas, therefore it is Nitya Vibhuti. Ayodhya, unassailable, that is, it is not open to attack or assault by any military force. Aparajita, invincible, that is incapable of being conquered, defeated. Like this, there are many names to the spiritual world. Also, there are many scriptures which elaborately describe the spiritual world. Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishnu Purana, Mahabharatam, and many. In Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 3rd canto, 15th chapter, Maitreya Maharishi gives a brief description of Vaikuntha to Vidura, which he, Maitreya Maharishi, heard from Lord Brahma, who had earlier revealed it to Devatas. Vasanti yatra purushaha sarve Vaikuntha murtayah yen nimitta nimittena dharme naradhyan harim yatra chadhya puman aste bhagavan shabda gocharaha sattvam vistabhya vrajam swanam no mradayan vrashaha. That place, Sri Vaikuntha, is full of the uncontaminated mode of goodness, with no place for passion or ignorance. The devotees, the inhabitants who reside there, spend all their time singing the praise of the auspicious qualities of the Lord. That Vaikuntha is full of very precious stones, and that place is made more beautiful by the goddess of fortune, Sri Mahalakshmi, holding a lotus in her hand. In Vishnu Purana, it is said, Vaikunthe pare loke Shriya Sardham Jagatpatihi Aste Vishnu Rahintyatma Bhaktaihi Bhagavataihi Saha. In Vaikuntha, which is also known as Paramapada, the Father of the universe, Jagatpati, Lord Vishnu, who is beyond one's comprehension, with Jagannmata, the mother Mahalakshmi, stays along with devotees and sages. Also, in Mahabharata, it is described that Paramapada is above the abode of Brahma, and it is pure and self-illumined. It is a place for enjoyment of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Brahman. Hence, it is called Parabrahman. Those who have no knowledge about this, who is very much attached to worldly matters, with ego, anger, illusion, do not reach that place. The sages, great souls, without ego, pride, treating both pleasure and pain alike, with control of mind, engage in contemplation of the Lord, attains that Paramapada. Likewise, there are many scriptures which describes about the spiritual world. In Vaikuntha, there is a huge divine mansion wherein limitless eternal beings are present. Their nature, their wealth, etc. are not within the comprehension of even Sanaka, Brahma, Shiva. To those who are there in the Vaikuntha, the only thing that matters them is their service to the Lord, nothing else. Surrounding that mansion are 100,000 enclosure meaning wall, a fence. They are adorned with Katpaha Vriksha, the wish-yielding trees, and the enclosures are surrounded by 100,000 crores of divine gardens. That mansion has an amazing gem-studded audience hall, which has 100,000 crores of gem-studded pillars. The gardens which are surrounding that mansion has beautiful flowers like Mandara, Kunda, Kurabaka, Utpalla, Champaka, Arna, Unnaha, Nagakeshara, Bakula, Ambuja, Parijata, and of course, Tulasi. There are also many amusement halls for the Lord's divine sports. Also, there are extraordinary divine sports area for Sri Mahalakshmi. Also, there are 100,000 ponds oozing sweet fragrance. Around there are long array of seating facilities which are studded with gemstones, pearls, corals, and these ponds has the water which is spotlessly clear, clean, and tastes like ambrosia. The divinely beautiful birds are adding beauty with their melodious, sweet creeping. The mild wind blowing over the sandal tree, campfire, and beautiful flowers carries their fragrance. Right at the center of this mansion, the Lord is seated along with his consort, surrounded by Ananta, Garuda, Vishwakshana, and many others. This spiritual world is not affected by time. There is no concept of day, month, year, etc. The time, Kala, is eternal. It exists always. Kala is Vibhu, that is omnipresent. It permeates all of this Leela Vibhuti that we live in and all of the Nitya Vibhuti too. So the time exists always in all places. Even when this universe is destroyed, the time factor Kala is present and it indicates the Supreme Lord when to perform Srishti again, the creation again. And that Kala is one of the causes for creation of any object that is created in this world, that is Leela Vibhuti. Moreover, this Kala itself undergoes many changes like second, minute, muhurta, morning, afternoon, night, day, paksha, masa, ayana, samvatsara, and so forth. But none of these changes happens in the spiritual world, though time is present over there. Over here, in this Leela Vibhuti, all the activities are bound by and driven by Kala, the time. Whereas in the Nitya Vibhuti, Kala does not play any role. That is, the liberated souls, the inhabitants of Vaikunta, perform service to the Lord as they please without Kala dictating the duration of their activities. It is exactly opposite compared to the Leela Vibhuti. Here everything is driven by the time factor. Over there it is not. The characteristic Lakshana of Kala, the time factor, is that which is devoid of the three gunas. Kala does not have the three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, and it is Jada, which means they are not Swayam Prakasha, Aswaya Prakasha. The Prakriti is Jada, likewise Kala is also Jada, which means they are cognized only with the help of something. For time immemorial, the Jivatma had involved himself into activities which are not acceptable at all for his nature, as a result of which he had to hang around in the samsara tree, which has endless troubles, unsteady temporary pleasures, full of pains and sufferings. Somehow, with good association, gaining good knowledge, through that bhakti, he surrenders to the Lord and get rid of all the troubles and problems. This Jivatma travels to the Viraja river. Over there, he immersed himself in the clear, sweet-smelling cool water of the Viraja river. Over there is Sukshma Sharira, which came along, gets destroyed. A personality by name Amanavan, with his pure hand, now touches this Jivatma. This touch relieves the Jivatma of his old samsara feelings. And now this Jivatma is in the same place where the Lord is also present. There, the Jivatma, who's liberated now, sees two water bases, Aram and Niyam. He also sees perfect gardens, mountains, rivers, lakes, which are all made of Shuddha Sattva. Earlier, in the material world, when he was present, he briefly heard and read about the spiritual world through Upanishad, Pancharatrika Shastra, and many other literatures. Now he is seeing them lively, direct vision. As he arrived over there in the spiritual world, the Nityatmas, Muktatmas, they all welcome this Jivatma. They come in 5 groups of 100, each accompanied by the sweet music of bugles and conch. They also hold garlands, fragrant flowers, remnants, and other articles for decorating this Jivatma. Garuda brings the Divya Vimana, the transcendental aeroplane. There are a number of damsels who are seated in that Vimana. The Vimana starts its journey towards Paramapada, where the Supreme Lord resides. On his way, he sees many things, as we just saw. The rivers by name Aram and Nyam, gardens, mountains, rivers, lakes. And also Muktatma moves across the lake of nectar by the name Airammadiyam, which looks like filled with the flood of happiness. Then he goes near Somasavana. Then the Vimana finally nears the entrance of Paramapada. The guards at the entrance welcome him. Having reached that place, the Muktatma, the liberated soul, offers obeisances to the Vaikunta gate. As he passes through the gate, he steps into the broad streets of this beautiful place. As he proceeds, there are damsels receives him, carrying in their hands glowing lamps. They sprinkle on him scented powder. Some bring the pāvakaḥ of the Lord. Welcoming with the pāvakaḥs is the greatest honor that can be shown to the Muktatma. Then he moves and comes to the divine Mantapa. Thereafter, he reaches the assembly hall called Prajapati Sabha. That hall is vast and never crowded in spite of the presence of so many hundreds and thousands of Nitya Suris and Muktatmas. There are 4 entrances on 4 sides, each is guarded by 2 Dwarapalakas, namely Chandan, Prachandan are in the front, Bhadran and Subhadran on the right, Jayan and Vijaya are in the back, Dattan and Vidatan are in the left. Also, there are 8 commanding officers in the 8 corners of the pavilion. They are Kumuda, Kumudaksha, Pundarika, Vamana, Shankukarana, Sarvanetra, Sumukha and Surpratishta. This liberated soul goes towards them with love and respect, he is being received by them and they admit him. Now, Vishvakṣena, the Lord's commander-in-chief, takes charge of this Muktatma and his arrival is announced. Several officers on duty come to wait upon him. The Mukta is overwhelmed with joy, bows down and raises at every step. As he comes near, closer and closer, he mounts off from the Vimana. Garuda is seen with folded hands. The Muktatma prostrates before Garuda and with his permission gets into the beautiful assembly hall. There is a beautiful dais, Simhasana, on which the Lord with his consorts is seated. On one side of it are seated the earlier acharyas, gurus, who are occupying a place of honor. They are immensely pleased to see this Jivatma, the Muktatma, and the Muktatma with great gratitude and reverence falls at their feet and says that he cannot find any recompense for the help that they have given him. And he prays to them that they place their feet on his head and bless him. Over there he sees there are so many Nityatmas and Muktatmas who are standing in rows, lost in full and perfect enjoyment of bliss of the Lord and His qualities. Some of them are engaged themselves in the service of the Lord directly, others in the service of those who are serving the Lord, whereas some of them were praising the Lord and some of them were engaged in prayers for the welfare of the Lord. The Muktatma stands before the Lord, the supreme ruler of the universe, with his consorts Sri, Bhu and Neela Devis. The Muktatma praises the Lord. Having seen the Lord of Vaikunta seated on the Simhasana, the Muktatma bows down by joining his hands. He offers his obeisances to the Lord and his consort. Now, the Muktatma places his feet on the steps of the Simhasana and climbs on it. The Lord is equally happy on seeing the Jiva who had been away long time from him, living in this samsara. He seats the Jivatma on his lap and embraces him as Rama welcomed Bharata in Chitrakuta, as Krishna embraced Akrura. The Supreme Lord embraces the Muktatma, holding him close with love. And the Lord wants to increase his own joy by hearing the Muktatma himself speak. So the Lord asks question to him, "Who are you?" In response, the Muktatma, unable to find any suitable answer, finally, with all humility, he submits to the Lord, stating, "I am your slave, my Lord, but from beginningless time I was sunk in the ocean of samsara. I was in the cycle of repeated birth and death in the samsara tree. Now that I have realized the truth about you, you are the inner soul of all the worlds. And as the letter M in the Pranava mantra reveals that I am the slave, Dasa, of yours, so my name is Dasa. My earnest prayer unto you is that you shall be pleased to take me as your servant and kindly accept my menial services unto your lotus feet. The Lord, who is pleased by the humble prayer of the Muktatma, looks at the face of Sri Mahalakshmi, the Universal Mother. Both the Lord and his consort blesses the Muktatma. Thereafter, he engages in the service of the Lord, either directly or assisting those who are directly engaged in the service of the Lord. And he finds complete happiness and attains equal enjoyment by having the direct vision of the Supreme Lord, who is unimaginably, divinely beautiful, wondrous, eternally youthful, who has beautiful, dark, curly hair, whose eyes are so very charming like a blossom lotus flower, with his creeper-like eyebrows, shining lips, sweet smile, tender cheeks, prominent nose, upright shoulders, conch-like neck, wearing beautiful garland, lotus-like ears. He is shining with the rings on his fingers. The array of his fingernails is shining bright. He wears fish-shaped earrings, neck jewelry, necklace of pearls, upper arm jewelry, bangles, jewelry of chest, diamond jewelry on the chest, pearl strings, jewelry adorning his waist, wearing a golden yellow garment, wearing waist band, anklets, Vaijayanti Mala, which never fades, and holding conch, disc, mace, sword, bow, etc. This Muktatma becomes completely in bliss, and he is now restored to his original state, essential nature, as the servant of the Lord. There he gets equal enjoyment of the wisdom and bliss, that of the Supreme Lord himself, except the features that are only reserved for the Supreme Lord. The Lord is the cause of the world. Jivatma cannot be the cause of the world. The Lord is the one who gives moksha to the living entities. The Lord is the one who supports the entire creation, and He is the one who controls the world, and He is the one from whom all the sentient things and non-sentient things being exist. And Lord is the one who has everything as part and parcel of Him. And it is the Supreme Lord who is denoted by all words, and He is the one who can be understood by the Vedas, and He is the one who is refuge of all the world, and He is the one who should be adored by all those who seek moksha, and He is the Supreme Lord who grants the fruits of all actions, and He is the one whose essential nature is omnipresence, omniscience, and omnipotence, and He is the Lord whose consort is Sri Mahalakshmi. So these are peculiar features, special features, distinctive characteristic of the Supreme Lord, which is different from the Jivatma. With that, we have covered in this session the various names of the spiritual world, the description of the spiritual world, the time factor, the journey of Jivatma from this world to the spiritual world. This topic is a vast topic. There are a lot of more details to it, and there are a lot of details we may not know. But hopefully, with whatever little bit we have learned, that helps us, that inspires us to attain that spiritual world and be engaged in the service of the Lord. As it's been mentioned earlier, this does not cover everything, and of course we cannot cover everything that of the spiritual world. As the Lord is unlimited, the spiritual world, its glories are unlimited. But for those who are interested to read further on this, especially about Goloka, that's in the spiritual world, can refer to Sri Brihat Bhāgavatamrita by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Namaste, Hare Krishna.